Hello, in this video I'd like to discuss updating structured data between inspection reports. And up to this point, the way we have this set up is that you can use the edit asset values to update values in between inspection reports. And that's worked fairly well for us, but we've run into a couple pitfalls recently that we've noticed. The first pitfall is that you're able to change values in edit asset values that do not get error checked as they would in an inspection report. And the second pitfall is the fact that there's no way to document why you made the particular change to the structure. Where in the actual inspection you have a lot better mechanism to document why the change was made. So I'm going to walk you through a new method that we've developed. If you create a report, you can select any of the reports that you normally would. So I'm going to pick full state, and then instead of doing a routine inspection, I'm going to do a data update inspection type so that you can toggle that. Go ahead and create the report. And with this method, you can update whatever value you want, and we'll have the error checking completed. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to say I want to change the curb to curb width. I'm going to go to the SI&A to make this change. So I go in, go down, and the curb to curb width for this bridge is really 44 feet. So I made that adjustment. So then, as I can do before, I can do the error check. So I come over here, click on the error check, because the error check's going to run when I close the report anyway. Looks like I've got two problems. One, there's an error. Item 51 must be greater than item 52. So I made a change that should not have happened. So that's kind of a good example of like an error check that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't done it with this method. And the other is that I didn't fill out the load rating evaluation form, which since you create a report, it's going to require you to do that. So now I'm going to fix the issue that I created by adjusting item 51. So I come back down. So I changed the curb to curb, but you can see that can't be reasonable, right? Because the curb width can't be greater than the outside of deck. So I'll make that 47 to match with the 44. And then I also need to come over here and do my load rating evaluation. So I'll come in to the load rating evaluation form, and since there's no reason that I should see that I'm not going to do an evaluation with this, and I don't see the need to do any evaluation because there's no change, and I can put my name as the person that made this adjustment, but I don't think that's necessary because I think anybody that looks at the data update form is going to realize that no actual work or physical inspection was done, that only data was updated. So I'm going to do the error check again to make sure looks like everything's good, no errors were found. So I can go and change the workflow stage for this. So changing this is just like a normal approval process. Oops, I'm going to do that. So then here's where I can make a comment. So there's your comment, so I can submit that. So I can close that again. I can continue. Our state bridges, we have a two-step approval process. So I can change the workflow stage again. So now I can pass it to a final approval. And if I want, I can just copy that same comment from the previous approval, submit that. So now that report I created is passed. So I can close out of this inspection report. And we'll go back to the main quick view. So you'll see that the curb to curb width has been updated. And then if you go and look at the asset information, that I've created Iowa full state, and there's a data update report in there, and you can see what the date is. If I open that inspection up, I can go see in the comments for that inspection the reason for that. So if I go to the form view for that inspection, updated the curb to curb width to 44. So that's kind of a breadcrumb of the change that we made, and we went through the error checking, so we didn't do something that we shouldn't have done with the other method of updating the data, which was at asset value. So we're hoping to have folks use this method going forward, and probably not in the too distant future will take away at asset values from the majority of people. So that's all I plan to cover in this video. Thank you for your time.